Captain Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
Man, I'm no longer watching TMZ. I'm done with them, man. That was one of my favorite shows when I was incarcerated. I turn on some of that TMZ. I watch that, but I'm not watching it no more. I don't care. I'm not watching no more. It seemed like they playing a big old game over there, man. They playing a game. You see, they didn't want to go live because they didn't want to get called out on their BS over there covering up this BS, man. It seemed like they taking the sides of theories. They running with that, running all the BS. Why y'all ain't ran Nolan Wells' mama been getting threats over there? Y'all not running none of that, but y'all sure ran when that judge got them threats. Yeah, y'all ran that. Man, they over here playing a dirty game, man. Let's go over and check it out, man. Let's go.
TMZ just got outed and exposed on their own show for running propaganda on this Nolan Wells situation. Shout out to this good brother called Trent Out Loud. Yo, TMZ's so salty, they ain't even put the brother name on the screen. But the brother essentially came up and poked holes in certain things that TMZ have been saying that they've been pushing as absolute 100% impenetrable fact. But the problem here is they've been pushing things as facts that are just theories. See, they are so quick to discredit any theory that falls into the favor of Benjamin Crump or Nolan Wells family and their opinions of what took place, but they're so quick to stamp whatever theories the opposing opinion is, whatever theories Officer Tatum throws out there. This brother here did a brilliant job at poking holes and reasonable doubt in whatever TMZ has to disseminate. The first 3 seconds of this is really strange. TMZ Live is supposed to be live. They've never had a pre-recorded TMZ Live ever.
Why they got one now? Why do they have one now? And I'm going to tell you why they got one now. But like I said earlier, they didn't want to get called out on a BS. See, when you live, you can't go back and edit nothing. It's right then. And 9 times out of 10, you got somebody that's recording it as you going live. So they want to make sure that they keep it clean to go in their favor. We know who team it seemed like they own, man. Yeah, so they want to edit out all the realism.
But when they knew the brother was coming on Trent Out Loud, you know what they did? They recorded the segment with Trent Out Loud before they went live.
And then posted it up as if it was live.
And then they uploaded the recording as a part of the live. And the reason why they did that is because they wanted a chance to edit and take out certain things that Trent will say. And I hope you guys catch it the first couple of seconds.
Come to TMZ Live in the Nolan Wells case. I think a very
recorded earlier. Look how they got caught, y'all. Look. Recorded earlier. Look right there. But they acting like it's live, man. So y'all tell me what's going on here. What's going on? What's going on, man? See, they didn't want it to go live. Yeah, they didn't want it to go live because they know that they weren't going to be able to handle that pressure on that BS they've been over there putting up. That's why. Crazy, man.
Very significant development. The Mississippi State Medical Examiner has completed the autopsy on Nolan Wells. We told you that there was a second autopsy. Actually, it was completed before the first one and done by the family. And the cause of death there was undetermined, although according to the family lawyer, Ben Crump, the medical examiner they used privately did not rule out foul play, but on the other hand, apparently has not found foul play. There was
they couldn't find foul play because they didn't give them all the evidence that they needed, the body parts. That's why.
Discoloration on his skull, which could involve foul play, but it also could be something like blood pooling when the body was on a slab at the morgue. So we don't know. Right now, there are really no conclusions, at least that have been made public. The official autopsy results remain sealed. They will not be released probably for a while because the DA has already said this case is going to go before a grand jury.
So they'll start with the investigative phase. To your point, they can compel witnesses to provide information or to testify. They can also compel individuals to give records up to the investigative grand jury as well.
If nobody did nothing wrong, why would they need subpoenas and warrants to give people text records? Like, why not? Hey,
Right. They got everybody else. When they call them dudes for RICOs, they had them text messages and everything else. Why is this so hard to get what y'all need to solve this case? Now, I know investigations take a while for these people to investigate and really find out 100% facts what happened. Seems like nobody's trying.
Brett, here's my phone. Go through my phone. I can sign over whatever you need me to sign over. So, like Verizon and these other companies can give you my text records because I have nothing to hide. What we're seeing here is a contradiction in actions of what's happening behind the scenes and what's happening in public. In public, everybody is saying, oh, we did nothing wrong. We've told everything we know. And then Tatum comes and said, well, they didn't tell everything they know because they just told me, yo, there was a drug dealer on campus. Yo, they seen this dude right here arguing and fighting with Nolan. Huh?
Why none of them people came forward? All these people who said they seen this and they saw that, none of them came forward. We haven't seen none of them on the internet. Everybody else been on here. Why we haven't seen them yet? Why they ain't pulled them up for an interview yet? Why they haven't been pulled in for questioning yet?
Why wasn't this said? So people are saying we have nothing to hide. We will give everything we got. Then, well, we're not giving you this. We know nothing. Then, well, we know a little bit more. At some point, we got to call it out. Now, Harvey would explore the possibilities of the grand jury coming back and saying this was accidental. There was no foul play here, and then closing this case very shortly.
Which could open up things like text records. I know that they can get those from the phone companies without the grand jury, but it makes it a lot easier to be able to go directly to the source to get information that they might want as an investigative matter. Then, depending on what they find, to your point, they can absolutely convert that into an indicting grand jury, and they can try to get indictments against any potential wrongdoers.
Or, and we have to say this, and I think it's important to say, or they can conclude this was a tragic accident and that there's no criminality.
Y'all hear that? Or they conclude that it was an accident. Okay, it could have been an accident. It could have been foul play. But y'all see he's leaning more on the accident.
And I think people have got to remember that is an absolute possibility on the table here because there's been a lot of chatter online and by various people, who have gone to the media. But there is no clear path right now to any criminality.
Ain't no clear path to what you saying. What you saying is the same thing that was on the internet. You repeating everything that was on the internet as well. So you don't know what happened either, but you keep on talking about an accident. How you don't know if something was an accident. You don't know if it was foul play. But you leaning more to it could have been an accident. Now watch when she speaks.
At least has been disclosed, except for one thing. There's already been an arrest. But the arrest doesn't have to do with Nolan Wells.
Not related, yeah.
Right.
So
The arrest somewhat have to do with Nolan Wells, okay?
The arrest was because a threat was made to the judge. Okay? That don't got nothing to do with the Nolan Wells, but it was still made and how fast they did an arrest on threats being made to the judge. But what about Nolan Wells' mother? She been getting threats as well. No arrests have been made towards her. The people that's threatened her. Just like they found the people who were threatening that judge. Easy. What to take. They found it fast. But they can't do it when it's on Nolan Wells' side.
Hey, Warren, Nolan Wells' friend, his mama, who's a judge, dumb people have been leaving her like negative DMs, have been threatening her via the DM, via phone calls. And apparently one of these people were dumb enough to leave a DM under their real name, and she got picked up and she got arrested. Now, TMZ will talk about this fringe incident as if this is a representative of everybody else who have this opinion that Nolan Wells was murdered. It's not. Like, these people are fringe, right? But they would also discuss this, but they would never address Nolan Wells' mama receiving threats as well. They don't address that. They don't address the fact that Nolan Wells' mama have been pretty vocal, have been pretty open, have been pretty loud
And nobody been arrested yet for threatening her. Nobody.
About how she can't stop receiving life-threatening calls. She got to turn off her phone. She got to change her phone settings to like extreme D&D and find different ways to circumvent the threatening phone calls. There's been no arrest when it comes to her. There's been no arrest. Nobody has been questioned. So that alone is evidence that, the police is going about this situation entirely wrong. It looks like they're only focused on protecting one group of people while leaving the other group vulnerable. If Ashley Cole's perpetrators are being hunted down and arrested swiftly, why isn't Christine's?
We know that all the boys that were originally a part of the 3 boats that went out to Horn Island on 4th of July with Nolan, all those boys, we're told, have been cooperated behind the scenes with police, but have been receiving an overwhelming amount of threats, not just them, but also their family as well, the family of Warren Hudson specifically.
What about Nolan Wells? Don't forget about that, sweetheart. Don't forget that his family been threatened as well.
His mother, who is a judge who, the internet uncovered pretty early on when trying to piece together all the pieces of this case. She, we're told, got a lot of threats, specifically from this one man who is known as a Sacramento area man, was arrested. And we know that the FBI had been looking into a lot of these threats. A lot of the families have been threatened, some of them credible, some of them not. But they are showing that this is very serious. They're taking these threats very seriously, and this man is behind bars.
And there is something else that
People will say that TMZ is credible. They will say that TMZ is a credible news source. But TMZ don't even know that the person arrested for threatening Ashley Cole was actually a woman, not a man. It was a woman. But they'll say, right, like we can't be trusted, but then they'll listen to TMZ as if TMZ is the Bible. But TMZ be wrong too, bro. TMZ have gotten countless things wrong. TMZ said that Adam 22 and Lena was getting a divorce. That was false. If they would have done their basic research, they would have found.
They wouldn't know it was a play. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is purpose though. This ain't no accident. All this stuff is done on purpose.
Found out that was a troll. All right. So TMZ is not the end all be all. Now they're about to get to something very interesting. You see the autopsy results. The family of Nolan Wells have yet to receive the autopsy results. Now, I've never been in a situation where I have to seek out the autopsy from from the state, right? I've never been in that position as the head of the family when somebody dies. But even if they're trying to keep the results on wraps for whatever grand jury is coming up, shouldn't the family be the first one to know? Shouldn't you inform them, hey, we found out the cause of death for your son?
Yes. But they don't want to release. They don't want to release the report until to the grand jury, to the trial, till they go to trial. They don't want to release it to the family or nothing because they don't want nobody to get online and make more content about it. They don't want nobody to push this anymore because it's exposing everybody. That's why they don't want to release it. But I think they wrong for that. What do y'all think?
Apparently, the city hasn't. Now, Harvey starts to defend that position. He starts to defend the position that the family should not be notified because the state should keep this under wraps. In what world should a grieving mother not be notified of the cause of death of her son?
Right.
But Harvey thinks this is completely okay. And that's what I'm talking about when I say, these people are completely on the side of Ocean Springs, of the sheriffs.
Facts. You hit that on the money. You hit that on the money, man.
Of anybody who's opposing the family, they're on their side. They don't even show any objectivity whatsoever.
These boys, why did they leave him on the island? What happened? Talking about the audio, that dispatch audio that we had obtained, which was the dispatch audio to Ceto when one of the boats was sinking, and you could possibly hear stuff going.
Ain't no possibly. We heard what we heard, woman.
Going on in the background.
Here's the stuff in the background that's important, that there's a lot of talk that they said the word Nolan, and
they did say the word Nolan. We heard it. That's why I can't wait till they go through that audio and find out what they really said. You gonna be really exposed and look crazy, man. Yeah, y'all gonna look crazy over there, man.
he's dead. And if you try and hear that, maybe you can. But what we've kind of concluded based on video that we received is that Nolan was not on that boat, that's the boat.
Then why were they saying his name then? So they just saying his name for nothing. He wasn't on the boat, but they saying his name, and you can't say that they was calling him to tell him to get on the boat because they was already out 300 yards.
At the beginning of the trip back from Horn Island, and that Nolan is not on that boat, and
you don't know what time that was on the boat. That could have been another shot. That might not even been when they left. But you see how he riding the side of what's going on here?
That's the boat that went into distress a few minutes after leaving Horn Island. Nolan was not on that boat.
How you know? Was you there? Because this sounds like you sure about it. How do you know?
ABC News is saying that authorities have said that there are two witnesses they've talked to that place Nolan on the island as late as 6 o'clock in the evening.
Why we ain't seen no witnesses? Why them witnesses ain't came forward? If they was on why they wasn't on ABC News?
Long after that boat left, and that he had been drinking heavily.
None of this is fact.
It was somebody that said they seen Nolan on the island and he wasn't drinking. A coach had a good talk with him and told the mother that he wasn't drinking. Why you didn't bring that up?
All theories. Nolan Wells' mama did an interview, and the mama says that the coach, a coach of his, actually spoke to Nolan, and the coach says Nolan was not drunk. Like, Nolan was not, like, heavily intoxicated. TMZ does not bring that up. They don't bring up the fact that Nolan's mama is debunking the drinking heavily narrative. But they'll bring up the drinking heavily narrative that's been, again, disseminated by Tatum as if it's facts, and it's just not, okay? Now, Harvey would even go as far, and you're about to hear about the autopsy right now, Harvey would even go as far as to say that he don't believe that transparency when it comes to the autopsy, transparency when it comes to this investigation, he don't think transparency is needed, that they should be as closed off as possible.
Now, I don't think that leads to any particular conclusion, except that it seems to basically eliminate those kids from anything that ultimately may have happened to Nolan.
I'm out of here, man. I can't listen to no more of this dude, man. I can't listen to no more of this dude, man. I'm not watching this show no more either. He full of it, man. Full of it. You believe one side of the story, huh? Okay. What do y'all think, man? Leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. It's Compton Rick Rock with Compton Rick Rock TV. I'll catch all of y'all on the next reaction.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Compton Rick Rock TV. Also, hit that notification bell and catch every video when I drop.